Yo, how's it going guys? It's Dayton here and welcome back to my channel. Alright, so yes, we have the DreameTech L10s Ultra, the ultimate robot vacuum. Now, this bad boy has self-emptying, has self-washing, also has counter-rotating mopping pads, has a front-facing camera, has 3D obstacle avoidance, the list goes on and on. Alright, so there's a lot to cover in this video, so stick around. I'll show you everything you need to know about the L10s Ultra.
Start auto empty.
Obstacle avoidance, the dual counter rotating mopping pads. Now, this model can lift up the mopping pads. So let's say, for example, you want to vacuum carpets and leave those mopping pads on. You can do that. Also, you can transition over carpet. So in my area, I actually have carpeting in between two areas of hardwood floor. So that's not going to be a problem. Well, yes, it's a sad day. Here for 2022, we still have robots that want to literally run over everything. But luckily, DreameTech's L10s Ultra takes a different approach, using a combination of advanced 3D laser system and an optical recognition camera. It's able to distinguish different types of obstacles. So, for example, power cables and even shoes, bathroom stools like pedestals, this robot vacuum will recognize. Now, let's see what robot vacuum can get to your target point first. Is it going to be Astro or is it going to be the Ultra? Well, it looks like Astro stole the lead. He had a shortcut. Well, he's a pretty clever little robot. But what am I saying? This shouldn't be a race. This should be which robot can clean the best. Well, Astro can't clean, so I don't know why I have this head-to-head challenge. But anyways, you can see the navigation abilities. Alright, let's talk about the 3D mapping and AI. So yes, this robot vacuum can recognize various obstacles. So here in front of me, I have a couple different objects. I have a bar stool pedestal. I also have some cables on the ground. And off to the back there is a shoe. So all three objects in this area, this robot vacuum should be able to recognize, and it will show up on the map. Alright, all you pet owners, you might want this robot vacuum because there's an option in the app where you can actively avoid poo. So if you go out and your little pooch leaves a nice surprise, well, hopefully this robot vacuum will actively avoid it. Now, it's not perfect. I actually went out to go shopping and I got a notification. I guess the robot vacuum somehow wrapped up some cables around the brushes and it got stuck. Luckily, the next feature is this robot vacuum has a camera which I can actually jump into and see exactly where the robot is. Luckily, I was able to steer the robot manually out of the sticky situation and have the robot vacuum go back to its docking station. Alright, so besides being able to steer the robot to an area, you also have a few icons. You can actually speak to the robot, you can take pictures, you can even have the robot go back to its docking station or clean that specific area. Now, back to the obstacle challenge, you can see this robot vacuum does a pretty good job recognizing most of the obstacles. And in the application, you actually can enable this feature where it takes snapshots of what obstacles it recognized. The mapping on this robot is pretty good. It does have a fast map option. So what that means is it will actually map out your floor plan within about 10 to 20 minutes. It took about 20 minutes to map out my 2,500 square foot home. And it did a pretty good job once it was done. I was able to create my rooms, edit the rooms, create no-go zones, etc., etc. Kids, don't play with scissors. Bad. Get an adult or something. Well, knocked over my plant. Oh, I just squished my plant. I don't know why they taped this. It's already in a box, so why do you need to tape it again? Washable mopping pads right here. Very, very nice. Look at this. This is a multi-surface cleaning solution. So it looks like it just slots in, and as needed, it will add some solution. Pretty cool. So my favorite feature so far is the robot's ability to lift up its mopping pads. So this is great since I have carpeting that blocks off two areas of hardwood floors. So no longer do I have to physically remove the mopping pads. I can just tell the robot to go over there and it will automatically lift the mopping pads. Now let's check out the app here. You can see there's several different options. You can do mopping only, you can do vacuuming only, or you can vacuum and mop only. Well, as a parent, I try to pick up all the toys, but I guess I have one on the loose. Alright, so let's go and look at the features here. You actually have several different options. You can do carpet recognition, you can actually avoid carpet while it mops, and of course you have carpet boost. So So there's a lot of great options for you depending on what mode you want to be in. Well, there's only a handful of robot vacuums I can think of, like the Narwhal, also the DreameBot, and even Robot that physically can lift up its mopping pads. Now, the benefit of this robot vacuum is you have both options. You can go onto carpeting with the mopping pads on, and like I said, you can actually actively avoid the carpet. I find that allowing the robot to go onto carpet is an issue since these pads lift up high enough to clear the carpet. Alright, so the mopping performance is pretty good. Like all the other robot vacuums I tested, they tend to do light mopping tasks and they can't really get tough stains, but for the most part, I'm happy with the performance of this guy. Like I said before, transitioning over carpeting is not an issue. Now, one nice thing about the Ultra is its slim profile. I was able to get this robot vacuum to clean under most types of my furniture. There's also a little sensor on top, so if the furniture is kind of low hanging, it won't bump its head. Now, one unique feature I'm going to show you is the laser system itself. You actually will be able to see this on camera, but in real life, it's naked to the eye. Yep, you see that kind of like flashing light? That's the 3D sensor in action. But as you can see, still ran over that power strip that was laying on the ground. So the system's not perfect. Now, the biggest downside to the laser system is the fact that if you have like bed sheets that hang down, unfortunately it treats it like a wall and it won't physically try to push it to get underneath the bed. So if you are trying to clean under the bed, I do recommend lifting up that bed sheet. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the application here. This is the self-cleaning system. As you can see, I can actually adjust how often the robot vacuum goes back to clean its mopping pads. Also, with the self-emptying, I can tell it to empty out 3 times in one cleaning session. So that's a pretty cool feature. There's 3 controls. You can tell it to go home. You can also tell it to wash the mopping pad and also dry the mopping pads. Now let's lift up the lid here. As you can see, these water tanks are a little bit smaller, about 2.5 liters. I think the average size is about 4 liters, but they get the job done. First thing I noticed is how much smaller it is versus the Roblox version. Roblox was shorter and wider, but this definitely stands pretty tall, but it's pretty narrow, so you can slip this in a corner or something. Alright, so it looks like we have this removable mopping plate. So when it cleans, it actually scrapes on this bracket here, like this. So I can demonstrate, kind of scrapes along and removes all that dirt. So it's cool that you can clean this off pretty easily. Just kind of slips back in there. Alright, so it looks like there's a water tank on board, so it autofills there. There's the self-emptying port. Looks like there's 2 on either side. The infrared sensors to help line the robot up when it's going back to the dock. And you got some charging contacts. Alright, so it looks like this base plate is solid. It doesn't get removed. Now, let's check out this middle section here. Cool little silver door. Very nice looking self-emptying system. So here's the bag, and it just gets removed. Just like that. Very cool. Slide back in. Oh yeah, there's a clean tool just randomly here. Not sure why they stuck it there, but that's interesting. Probably take that out for now. So we slide back in here. And we'll put the cover back on. Alright, and then we go from the top here. Alright, you have our fresh water, dirty water tank right there. And there's some instructions up top. Pretty cool. Gotta show you inside. And just slots in like that. And then you put the water tanks right there. Pretty cool. Okay, so like a lot of these smart robot vacuums, you can actually tell it to clean a specific area. Now, one interesting thing as I was testing this robot vacuum is the way it went to that area. It actually took the long route, not sure why, but I think most robot vacuums would try to take the shortest route possible. But the robot vacuum did eventually get to that area, clean that area effectively, and then go back to the docking station without any issues. This is actually metal, I think. Yeah, little metal bristles there. And there's some doodad right there, cutting tool. Wow, it's like a switchblade. Wow, pretty interesting. Right cool. There, spot clean button / power, return to home. You'll have a LiDAR sensor that's clickable. Check out the back here or the front. You have a dirty tank right there. And if you see my previous videos, there's actually a little compartment right there that allows the dirt to get sucked out of. So really cool. Okay, so in the back here, this is where it refills the water tank. Not sure how big it is. I'm pretty sure it's probably around 150 milliliters. So you do have to remove this part here. And there's the sensor, so it docks from the rear. And you gotta remove these foam protectors as well for the bumper. And up front here is our camera system, and we have our 3D laser system to help avoid obstacles. And yes, this does have the ability to view what the robot sees. So if you're away, you can check up on your pet. Guys, it slips in like that. And we can get the side brush on. These all just snap in. One thing I noticed is actually a little bit bigger in diameter, so that's pretty cool. And it's an all rubber brush design. One thing I like about this is it should be easier to clean the pet hair off if they happen to get their hair wrapped around. Alright, let's just check the ends here. Yes, they can get removed, so that's very nice to clean the ends off. So cool. Now we'll put this thing back together. Let's see. How do we do that? It just slips in like that. And then this thing should just snap in. But actually, that was pretty easy. And the unique feature about this guy is you may notice, look how flush it is, but these things actually extend down a little bit to allow it to go over carpeting and stuff. Let me show you that mechanism. Yeah, or somehow. Yeah, there might be some type of mechanism that allows it to extend. I think these things actually extend out a little bit. These black parts, they kind of go out to allow it to mop. So we'll definitely check how that works. So really, really cool. Anything else? Last thing I want to show you, the acoustic sensor. This helps detect carpeting. Alright, that's going to give you my final thoughts. So if you're looking for the best robot vacuum you can buy, well, the Ultra is up there with the Roblox, the EcoVac models. Now, it's not perfect. There's a couple of minor quirks that I showed, like the navigation where it took the long route to the target area. Also, sometimes you would occasionally get hung up on cables, kind of run into them. But overall, this robot vacuum is very nice, and its price pretty good too. I believe it's just slightly over $1,000, on par with its competitors. So I think you should get the Ultra if you want literally a robot vacuum that does everything. Also, if you appreciate the auto lift feature of the mopping pad and have the ability to either choose between actively avoiding carpets or being able to go on carpets, that's a really nice plus. Roblox EcoVac does not offer that feature. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions about the L10s Ultra, let me know down in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And thank you so much, DreameTech, for sending me out this guy. You guys are awesome. So stick around. I got some new vacuums besides this guy and some new technologies. Alright, so have a great rest of the day. I'll catch you guys next time. Adios. This is Nathan. See you later.